Hello, and welcome back. This podcast is not about religion. It's not about theology. It's about people and about life. We take short, powerful stories from the Bible and we use them to reflect, to think, and to grow. It's also a great way to improve your English by listening to real, natural speech. Slow, clear, and meaningful. So if you enjoy learning through stories, and if you're on a journey of personal growth, you're in the right place. In this episode, we dive into one of the most iconic stories ever told, the battle between David and Goliath. But beyond the surface of this dramatic showdown lies a treasure of life lessons, from courage over fear to the power of believing in yourself. We uncover 5 powerful reflections that can help you face your own giants in life. Whether you're struggling with self-doubt, overwhelmed by challenges, or waiting for the right tools, this story will change how you see yourself and your potential. Today's story, David and Goliath. Main message: giants aren't always what they seem. Story reading. Selected excerpts from 1 Samuel 17. Then a champion came out from the Philistine camp. His name was Goliath, from the city of Gath. He was a giant of a man, towering over others. He stood before the army of Israel and shouted, "Why have you even come out to fight? I'm the Philistine, and you are servants of Saul. Choose a man to face me. If he can fight and defeat me, we will become your servants. But if I defeat him, you will serve us." He continued to mock them, saying, "I defy the armies of Israel today. Send me a man, and let's settle this with a fight." When Saul and all the Israelites heard his words, they were terrified. Now David was the son of Jesse, an older man from Bethlehem. Jesse had 8 sons, and his 3 eldest had gone to join Saul's army. David was the youngest. He would go back and forth from Saul's service to care for his father's sheep in Bethlehem. Each morning and evening for many days, the Philistine came forward to challenge Israel. One day, Jesse told David, "Take some roasted grain and bread to your brothers at the battlefield. Bring these portions of cheese to their commander and check on your brothers' well-being. Bring me word from them." So David rose early, left someone in charge of the sheep, packed the food, and traveled to the camp, just as his father had told him. When he arrived, the army was heading out to take their battle positions. David left the supplies with the keeper and ran to the front line to greet his brothers. While he was speaking with them, Goliath came forward again, repeating his usual taunts. David heard him. The Israelites fled in fear at the sight of the giant. They said among themselves, "Have you seen this man? He comes only to mock Israel. The king has promised great wealth to whoever kills him, including his daughter in marriage and exemption from taxes for his family." David asked the men nearby, "What will be done for the one who removes this disgrace from Israel? Who is this uncircumcised Philistine to defy the army of the living God?" They repeated to David what had been promised. But when his older brother Eliab heard him speaking, he became angry and said, "Why did you come here? And who's watching those sheep in the wilderness? I know you came just to watch the battle."
David replied, "What did I do now? I was just asking a question." Then he turned to someone else and asked again, and received the same answer. When Saul heard what David was saying, he sent for him. David said to Saul, "Let no one be afraid because of him. I, your servant, will fight this Philistine." But Saul replied, "You can't go against him. You're just a boy, and he's been a warrior since his youth." David responded, "I've watched over my father's sheep. When a lion or bear came to take a lamb, I chased after it and struck it down. I rescued the lamb from its mouth. When it turned on me, I grabbed it by the fur and killed it. I've dealt with lions and bears. This Philistine will be just like them, for he's defied the army of the living God." Then David added, "The same God who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the bear will rescue me from this Philistine." Saul said, "Go, and may God be with you." He gave David his own armor, a helmet and coat of mail. David tried to walk in them but couldn't, and said, "I'm not used to this." So he took them off. Instead, David took his staff, chose 5 smooth stones from a stream, placed them in his shepherd's pouch, took his sling in hand, and approached the Philistine. Goliath came closer, his shield-bearer ahead of him. When he saw David, he sneered, "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" He cursed David by his gods and shouted, "Come here, and I'll feed your flesh to the birds and wild animals." David replied, "You come against me with sword, spear, and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord of armies, the God of Israel's battle line, whom you have mocked. Today he will hand you over to me. I will strike you down and cut off your head. And today I will give the bodies of the Philistine army to the birds and wild animals. Then all the earth will know there is a God in Israel. Everyone here will know that God doesn't save with sword or spear, for the battle belongs to him, and he will give you into our hands." As Goliath moved in, David ran quickly to meet him. He reached into his bag, took a stone, and slung it. The stone struck Goliath in the forehead and sank deep. The giant fell face down to the ground. So David triumphed over the Philistine with only a sling and a stone. There was no sword in his hand. He ran to the fallen warrior, took the Philistine's own sword, and finished the job, cutting off his head. When the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they turned and fled.
The story of David and Goliath is more than just a tale of victory. It's a mirror to our own lives. It invites us to question how we see ourselves, how we deal with fear, and how we respond to challenges that seem far too great. Let's look at 5 powerful life lessons we can take from this story. Lessons that can guide us whenever we face our own giants. 1. Be bigger than your fears. Fear can paralyze even the strongest among us. Goliath was terrifying, not just because of his size, but because of the fear he created in everyone who saw him. No soldier dared to face him, not because they weren't trained, but because fear had already convinced them they would lose. But David? He looked at the same giant and saw something else. An opportunity to stand up for what mattered, even if he was afraid. Courage doesn't mean you feel no fear. It means you choose to act anyway. Whatever giant you're facing, be it a difficult decision, a personal struggle, or a voice inside telling you you're not enough, Remember this: you are more than your fear. And sometimes the simple act of stepping forward is the beginning of victory. 2. You don't have to match the enemy's size to win. David didn't try to become a warrior overnight. He didn't put on someone else's armor or try to be something he wasn't. In fact, when King Saul gave him armor, David tried it and said, "I can't wear this. It doesn't fit me." He knew something we often forget. Your power doesn't come from looking like others, sounding like others, or doing what they do. It comes from being authentically and fully yourself. The world may measure power in terms of size, numbers, or strength, but real strength comes from knowing who you are and trusting that what you have is enough. Your uniqueness is not a weakness. It might just be your greatest strength.
Use what you already have. David didn't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect tools. He didn't say, "Let me train first," or "Give me a better weapon." He looked at what he had, 5 smooth stones and a sling, and stepped forward. How many times do we delay action because we think we need more? More time, more money, more support, more confidence. But David teaches us a valuable truth. What you already have might be exactly what you need. The key is to stop waiting and start using it. Skills you've developed quietly, experiences you've lived through, strengths you've overlooked, all of it is part of your sling and stones. Don't ignore them. 4. Belief comes before breakthrough. No one believed David could win. Not the soldiers, not the king, not even his own brothers. But David did. He believed it deeply, not because he was naive, but because he remembered what he had overcome before: the lions, the bears, the long days in the wilderness. That belief gave him focus, it gave him fire, and that fire allowed him to face something that seemed impossible. This is the truth about life. People may doubt you, situations may look hopeless, and your mind may try to convince you that it's too much. But belief, quiet, personal, and persistent, is often the spark that ignites real change. Believe that your story can shift. Believe that this challenge can be overcome. It's not blind faith, it's choosing to see a different ending. 5. Don't underestimate your capabilities. David didn't defeat Goliath by luck. He wasn't just a lucky boy with a good aim. He had spent years developing his skills, quietly, away from the spotlight, protecting sheep, learning to react fast, practicing with a sling. No one saw that preparation, but it was there, and when the moment came, he was ready. Many of us underestimate ourselves because we can't see the connection between our quiet work and the battles ahead. But every struggle you've faced, every hard lesson you've learned, every small skill you've practiced, it all builds you. So don't sell yourself short. Don't assume others are always better prepared. Sometimes the most powerful preparation happens in silence. You may not have a sword, but maybe you don't need one. Maybe what you already know, what you've already trained for, is enough to bring your giant down. You are more capable than you think.
Maybe right now, you feel like you're standing in front of your own Goliath. Maybe your giant isn't a person. Maybe it's fear, doubt, pain, rejection, comparison, or a dream that feels too far to reach. You might be tired. You might be questioning if you're strong enough, smart enough, brave enough. But here's the truth. You are here for a reason, and the battle you're facing, as overwhelming as it may feel, doesn't mean you're losing. It means you're being prepared. Prepared to discover your strength. Prepared to trust yourself again. Prepared to rise in ways you never thought possible. David didn't wake up thinking he would change history. He just showed up with faith, with courage, with what he had. He didn't need applause or approval. He just believed that his life, his voice, his action mattered. And so does yours. If life has told you that you're too small, too late, too ordinary, I want you to remember this: giants fall. And they don't fall because we are perfect. They fall because we dare to stand. So keep showing up. Keep believing, even if your voice shakes. Keep walking toward the things that scare you, not because you're not afraid, but because you know there's more waiting on the other side. Your story isn't over. You are not done growing. You are not done fighting. And you are definitely not done becoming who you were born to be. Let David's story remind you: even the impossible can fall. And sometimes, all it takes is one step forward. If this message touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to keep learning English while exploring powerful stories like this one, don't forget to subscribe